And this is episode 5. I think it's episode 5 of the Certruth podcast. I'm Max Certruth, and I'm joined again by my awesome co-host, Coach Marty O'Brien.
Hey guys.
Coach, how you doing today?
Good. It's been a good week.
Yeah.
We're coming to an end here, crazy enough.
We had big time off break, so we're coming back, and we got a lot to go through because a lot's happened over the past couple. Since we recorded the last one, because the last episode it wasn't here in the studio, but instead we did it with Raj Cuts, who gave me a haircut in the parking lot. We'll get to him later. But yeah, it's been a while. Yeah,
it has. I mean, there's been a lot going on in the calendar. Spring has sprung, new sports here at FIAN, new sports professionally in the area, so I think a lot to talk about. I don't know, did we hit on March Madness?
So we hit on March Madness, and if you watched the last episode, we talked about March Madness, and then we talked about Celtics and
That's right.
Eric Montross.
Yep, number 0. There's a new 0 in town, Jason Tatum.
So
big win last night.
That was awesome, and we'll get to that. But starting, because it's been so long, with kind of like an update of FIAN.
Yeah.
So over the spring break, we're in spring sports season right now. So we've had just a lot of lacrosse, a lot of baseball. I haven't done that much checking up on the baseball team, but I do know that lacrosse has been pretty much killing it, both boys and girls. The CCL seems to be, we kind of dominate the CCL, which like we kind of do in most sports. But I was fortunate enough to do the senior night last night.
Yeah, how'd it go?
So it was great. We beat Cardinal Spellman, and something that I think is fun when I'm announcing, it's like if we're up by 10, Mr. Schott says I have to stop announcing. So he came up in the booth.
Like the goals and everything?
Yeah. So he comes up in the booth. So we did the whole ceremony, and he comes up in the booth, and he goes, it's going to be one of those games. So he goes.
Gives you the heads up.
Yeah. So I was like, all right. And off the bat, I mean, before first quarter, it was I think, I don't know, 7, 8, 9. I was
so you were already in no goal calling mode.
Right. But it gets to the point where it's kind of for me, it's kind of well, I got a break if you guys get up by 10. So just get up by 10 and I can just go sit on the bleachers.
So how do you approach that if you're announcing? Do you do different things, or what's your strategy?
It's a great question. What I usually do is when we face a team that I know is going to be tough, I'm really over exaggerating on the goals. I'm always screaming, and I'm like, oh, what a shot! But even then, last night, when we know the team is going to be pretty bad, Mr. Schatz was just don't come right up the gate super enthusiastic. He was like, I love it, but just don't do that. So I was like, yeah, all right.
Puts the tiger back in the cage.
Yeah,
right?
so it's more. I don't want to do it, but then it's that was blah 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 the goal for the Shamrocks instead of being
know you have a brand.
Yeah, I know. It's you're ruining my whole style, but it's good. It was really good actually.
That's
good. The team was. Because we talked about this on previous times, lacrosse for me, it was when I started with Joe Dez, and the team was super awesome. We did an interview. I'll actually put a little clip of that right here. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with the Bishop FIAN Shamrocks boys senior lacrosse or senior night, and I'm here with the lacrosse team. Now, boys, we're facing Cardinal Spellman today. I'm here with everyone just do it. Name and position.
Mason Kennedy midfield. Andrew Palmer midfield.
Theo Stimatel attack.
Connor Davin midfield.
Evan Petruzzo, attack.
Danny Cody, goalie.
Now, boys, we're going to get the real interview after the game. Any of you have anything to say how this game is going to go today? Anyone?
R.I.P. Nico, R.I.P. Brady.
And then after that, they gave me a card and everything. It was great. So really proud of them. It's awesome. I hope they keep going. Yeah.
What a quick season, too, right?
It's
spring sports already kind of getting into the later phases of
spring sports jumps right up there. It's just
so quick,
and especially with break in between, it's people don't really that week.
Good point.
It's
there's a lot because they're firing through the schedule,
and especially for seniors too because they leave so early. So it's
That's a good point.
Yeah, but they've been doing great. Baseball, I heard baseball has kind of been more on and off.
Yep,
I know. Are you a baseball fan, Coach?
I like baseball. I played it growing up. I played it in high school. I'm a fan. I do professionally. I like what they're doing with the rule changes and adding some of the flair to baseball.
Yeah.
So I'm becoming more of a fan. There's so many games professionally that I don't really watch a ton. I'll go to a game, minor league or major league game. I definitely do want to check out baseball, softball here on the backside of Doran. I see them practicing every day.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm a big fan of that. But I do need to get out more in the spring. It's like you said before, it's like the season goes by so quick.
Oh, yeah.
It's like if you're trying to get on the calendar to watch some of the games, all of a sudden it's like the games are over. So you got to get out there.
Yeah, it's like there's so many, and you may think, well, they'll have another one, but like they have so many away games, and it's like you don't know.
Yeah,
and
that's a good point.
It's spring's coming, it's always raining, so it's like there's always different checks. So
It's a good point too. Yeah, they got to schedule things in and out and move things around, and all of a sudden it's like 10 games in a week or whatever it is. Crazy.
Yeah, but I mean, I hopefully, we wish luck to everybody doing a spring sport here at Fian, and there's some senior nights coming up. I know May 16th, like I was telling you earlier, we got 2 senior nights. It's tennis and baseball.
Wow.
So I'll be announcing those hopefully. But no, yeah, Fian sports seems to be pretty good, and I think. Do you have any updates about Fian in general, away from the athletic community?
I mean, updates at Fian. I mean, again, I think seniors are having great seasons. They're enjoying it. I think, as you know, and you're in the squads, it feels like all the other sports are 12 months a year sports.
Yep.
I know football's doing lift and other sports are doing lifts.
Yeah.
People are getting excited for the next season, the next season, the next season. So it just continues to roll back and forth. But yeah, I mean, it's such a busy time. And it's really cool. What's cool about the spring sports is there's so many fields around the campus of Fian.
Yeah.
That it's just like everywhere you go, every single corner, there's something.
There's
going
always
on.
activity, which is awesome because I remember like for fall sports and winter sports they're all inside. So it's like after you leave campus, it's like you don't see what's going on
outside, right?
Completely. Yeah. And then in fall sports, it goes later into the night. So like people see us like getting like there's film sessions, so people don't really see us coming out of school. But then like later that night, it's like I know the football boys, they're out there super late, and then because the soccer teams have to use the turf too, it's like they are only there like a couple like different times a week, and then like we might go to the backfield, and again people don't see us there. Right. But spring sports, it's kind of like this big environment because like everybody around Fian, you can kind of see what's going on.
Yeah, and you're like going into the nice weather, so people they've been cooped up for the winter, so they want to get outside, they want something to do outside, and no better excuse to watch 1,000 games or practices we have going on.
Right.
So.
Even like some of the. Like I know what I do is the bird's nest up there.
Oh yeah,
by the press box.
I know well.
So I always wait by the door before I'm announcing a game, and I'm facing like out towards the turf, but behind me is the baseball field. So sometimes, I actually do this a lot. Whenever I'm waiting for the game to start, I just turn around and I just watch the boys' baseball practice, and it's always good.
We keep talking about doing a Certruth episode up there. We're gonna have to make that happen. Talk to Coach Schatz.
I'm really hoping because again, as you know, Coach Marty, we're going to have another guest on today, but with spring sports, so many people got stuff. Hopefully, maybe the first episode, if we can get John, I think if we could do it up there, that could be awesome if
That'd
we
be
got
cool.
the first guest up there. So we'll definitely look into that. But I think on that part, Fian's pretty
Fian's cruising.
Yeah.
It's again a lot of energy. It's really good. I've heard a lot of buzz at Fian about the pro sports going on too.
Yeah.
So good segue into what's going on pro.
So yeah,
what
pro sports.
So we're taping this Thursday the 4th.
Yeah.
May 4th.
So last night the Celtics won Game 2 against the
Sixers.
Yeah, the Sixers.
Yep. Philly, dreaded opponents.
Yeah. So we got a lot to talk about there.
What do you think? How are the Celtics doing? Because it was like the first
game there was such,
and even the first series. It's kind of like we went a little late. We shouldn't have done that.
And especially like with the Hawks, we were all like, okay, why did we lose to the Hawks? We were
why
we
like, give them any games?
Yeah,
right?
I know. So we were kind of like, well, what's going on? We were supposed to beat them by a lot, and then Joel Embiid just won the MVP, so it's like him coming into week 2, and we're all like kind of nervous, and we lost that first game. It was like I don't know, but then last night I'm trying to. Do you remember the score of that game?
I mean, we beat him by 30 or so, or we were up by 30 at some point.
I think it was Tatum dropped like.
Tatum actually did not have a lot of points.
Oh, was it?
It was funny because
was it Brown who had like somebody had like 34
Malcolm Brogdon did awesome.
Yeah, he did.
It was funny because the chatter was that Tatum, I think he scored like 7 points.
Yeah.
So they didn't really need him. But it's funny because Embiid comes back, like you were saying, the MVP is coming back into the fold, and but I think it actually plays into our advantage because that compresses their team.
Yeah.
So now he's under the bench, so they're just naturally not as fast and quick.
Right. And people like they're like the Celtics. Tatum's like great, but I think what makes the Celtics so good is that we have so much talent besides Tatum.
Yeah.
But no,
maybe we can get a Coach King a quote in the morning or something.
So when I was
throw it to a quote here.
All right. I'm here with Coach King. Coach King, as you know, we had a huge win in the Celtics, Game 7 against the 76ers. Now, coming up, we're facing Miami Heat in the conference finals. I just want your prediction of how Game 1 is going to go.
Game 1, I got the C's winning, and I'd say a pretty decisive victory. I'd say pretty big. I think the series can go all 7 games, though. On paper, I think the Celtics have a lot more talent, but I think Miami has some really tough players like Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, guys who have given the Celtics some problems in the past. I think they're a lot tougher than the Celtics. They have better intangibles. But I think the Celtics will pull it out, but it's going to be a tough series.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach King. You heard it here first on the Certruth. All right.
Love it, Max.
Thank you so much.
So the score was 87 to 121, which is crazy. But I'm trying to find the leading scorer was. It's just telling me the leading.
I mean,
scorer
it's got to
of all time.
be. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
which is leading scorer for the Celtics of all time.
Yeah, I got it pulled up right here.
Bird. It's got to be Bird, right?
It's not.
Not Bill Russ. It's not. No.
Nope.
Paul Pierce. Paul Pierce.
Nope.
I don't know.
I've never even. John
Havlicek. John Havlicek. You've not heard of John Havlicek?
I don't think so.
You never heard of Havlicek stole the ball? Havlicek stole the ball. Havlicek. It's like a very famous, which we could probably put here too.
Yeah, but
Boston only has a 1-point lead. Greer's putting the ball on a play. He gets it out deep, and Havlicek steals it. Over the stand goes. Havlicek stole the ball. It's all over. It's all over. Johnny Havlicek is being mobbed by the fans.
there. No, I kind of started getting into like basketball kind of later, but I'm not completely.
You only
sure.
missed 15 championships.
Yeah, that's true. That's
but
true.
I mean, so did I. Because
Yeah.
those, it was like the 60s essentially every year, like 9, whatever Bill Russell won, 9 championships or something.
Yep.
And then we got in the 80s, I think it was 3. So you've only seen one championship.
Yes.
And you probably don't remember it. 2008.
I don't remember it. But no, 26,395 points.
John Havlicek. Yep.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, he played a couple games with like a dislocated shoulder, and he couldn't. You could only shoot and dribble with one hand.
Oh wow.
Insane.
But I mean, but then again, jumping back to what happened last night, Celtics. So we're tied 1-1 right now.
1-1
with the
yep.
76ers.
I think we're going to Philly probably, right? I would assume. I think that's how it works.
I think we have the first 2 home games, so I think now we're going over there.
We haven't hit on the Bruins collapse too.
No.
What do you think? Are you a Bruins guy?
So I'm a Boston sports fan, not a big hockey guy, but because they've been doing so good, I've like this whole
Great
like
year,
couple of seasons I've been hearing like chirps everywhere about like the Bruins. So I did hear that they lost. I had the game on in the background at my house. I did. So did you watch?
I did. Playoff hockey's great, especially when your team's in the playoffs. So it's just such a, like, I didn't watch any games that were on Nesson. I didn't have Nesson. So I didn't watch any games in the regular season, but I was glued to my TV for the playoffs. Yeah.
So that's what I think it's great because I've never heard about the Bruins doing like this well for a while because especially. Was it 2-3 years ago? We fired the head coach, and then
a couple of years ago.
Last year. Last year. Maybe. Yeah. I remember they were doing so bad, and now this year, like, because again, even I'm not a hockey guy, but for me to hear like so many people being like, "Oh my God, the Bruins are insane," like it even draws attention to me. I'm like, "Whoa!" Like that's like.
Yeah, I mean, both our goalies, they did something interesting where they platoon the goalies, so they would play like on and off. Yeah. So which usually you'll have like one goalie and then the other one will spell them whenever, but that one goalie, your number one goalie, will get all the games. This one, it was basically split even, which is interesting, and it actually kind of people are talking now after they didn't do that in the playoffs. Our number one goalie was hurt a little bit, or it seemed to be, that the platooning didn't actually, we should have continued to do that. Maybe. Yeah. So it was just kind of a little bit of a mess. We're losing in round 1, just, 7th game, overtime, lost on our home ice. It was disappointing, but.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, a lot of
sports. And the Patriots draft.
Right.
Took like 11 players or something.
So the Patriots draft, they took for the Gonzalez.
Yeah, Christian Gonzalez, I think his name is.
Yeah, I think I'm trying to word.
Oregon. He's from Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon, right. And then
was at Colorado before, so he's a little bit of he moved around, but said it was because of his coach. But he's a big body.
No, yeah, I did watch the draft. I watched round 1 all the way through. Really awesome. First pick was Bryce Young.
Bryce Young. Yeah, Bryce Young. Yep.
So the
QB Alabama.
And he went to Texans?
He went to the Panthers.
Panthers. And then I think the
Texans is number 2.
Do they take Bijan Harris?
Nope. C.J. Stroud, the quarterback.
Who took Bijan Harris?
He's a running back.
Yeah.
Texas.
Yeah.
This has been draft talk.
Right. Not too educated.
No, he went later on. I don't know who he went to. We'd have to see.
Yeah, let me pull that up. But no, yeah, the draft went. It was pretty. It's interesting to see how different teams are going to be shifted this year. It's also like crazy how just a couple of draft picks they could completely change. Like I mean, you look at the Jets right now.
Oh, that's amazing.
The Jets
and we'll
are
see.
looking,
I mean, they won the offseason, but we'll see what happens during the season. But
like the Jets are like looking good. Like they got Rodgers, they got Gardner, they got Wilson. It's like. They're looking pretty good.
I mean, on paper, they're loaded up.
Bijan Harris went to the Falcons.
Okay,
that's what it was.
Yeah, they like the running back.
But
I know.
It's gonna be crazy seeing like kind of what like develops through like this whole.
Yeah, I mean, you look at our draft. I think we certainly loaded up in special teams. We got some receivers late.
Yeah.
I think sometimes it's kind of quantity as you're taking those players. I think we had 11 draft picks.
Yep.
Something like that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I mean, but that's not the only way we build our team. So it's also through trade and acquisition, and once players are cut going into camp, it'll be part of that too. So. And
I saw, because people always say Bill Belichick loves drafting like line players, like he loves that, and
like
line and special
interior.
team. So I did see they drafted this O lineman. So he's reuniting with Mac Jones because they both played in college. So I forget who it was. It was like one of those like later round picks. So I didn't watch, but the Patriots are looking good. The Ravens are looking pretty good.
You're a Ravens guy, huh?
Lamar.
Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, I'm not. I mean, I'm a Patriots fan to the core, but I gotta say, like Lamar finally got paid. They have OBJ now, so I don't know if he's coming off a year of injury.
And Zay Flowers, who's Boston College, local guy.
So they could be good. And there's just a lot of other teams that they got some new talent, which is gonna be.
We should see if we can get any Patriots players on the podcast.
That would
pull
be
some strings,
that
figure
would
it
be
out.
cool.
Go down to Foxborough.
Yeah, hopefully as this thing advances, if we can get either go down to Foxborough.
We got to be able to get media passes or something.
Yeah,
see what happens.
That would be amazing. The Certruth on the side of a football game. But even if we get like a call in or something, like, that would be cool too.
Call in might be in the future.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's just so much going on. Even like there's just a lot going on in the world of sports. And even going back to NBA for a second, I heard for the first time in his entire career, LeBron didn't get one MVP vote.
Really? Huh.
Not
I didn't know that. I didn't hear that.
It's crazy.
Yeah. What do you think that's good? Do you think that's right or?
Well, he's obviously not as
he's not LeBron of LeBron, right? Of old.
He's like right now it's just him and Davis kind of carrying the Lakers a little bit, but I gotta say it was surprising to me. But then again, like there's all this like trash talk coming out in the media. Oh, LeBron's washed, and it's like he is getting up there. It's like when he aspires to play with his son in the NBA. That's when like you've been playing for like a long time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, but no, yeah, I saw.
We'll see. I mean, he's always fun because he turns it on during the playoffs.
Oh, and the Lakers.
I wish I could watch this Lakers Warriors like 10:30 tip last night or something.
Yeah.
Forget about it. 2 nights ago, whenever it was.
Yeah.
I think tonight might be 8 o'clock or maybe, I don't know. They need to be earlier because we just can't do it. I can't do it.
But with the Lakers in the playoffs, people are saying they're making a big comeback. It's also like that could change up the whole like people talk about who's the GOAT? Is it LeBron or Jordan?
Who do you think? I feel like we've talked about this before. Generational.
I would say
you never saw Jordan play, obviously.
But I would say Jordan.
Yeah.
I would say Kelly Olynyk. I love him, but no. I'd say Jordan. But people say that like if LeBron had another ring, then he would be probably. But so you never know what's going to happen.
He's making a good push.
Yeah,
he's making a good push.
But yeah, no, I think that's kind of like there's just a lot going on, and of course you can't really make any predictions until the actual season start.
Yeah,
but yeah,
we'll see what happens.
Right,
should be interesting.
In other news,
yes. What's next?
So we got kind of like the talking points pulled up here. I want to talk about our last episode. Coach Marty, unfortunately, we weren't there for it, but I did an episode with my friend Roger Adams, aka Raj Cuts.
Raj Cuts. I have Raj in class. Have had him the whole year.
Kind of a fiend celebrity around here. You might not even you might be walking by in the hallways.
Are we looking at a Raj Cuts
and
special?
Not even know it? Well, actually, I'll talk about the last episode, and then I'll talk about my haircut the other day. He
feels like a future guest, maybe.
I'm 100% down for that. And so the other day the last episode we had Raj on, and it was great. Me and Raj traveled to the North Attleboro High School parking lot where he had done most of his cuts during quarantine, and he interviewed me, and we interacted with the everybody around. We were like, "Yo, what are you doing?" And we were like, "We're getting a haircut," and then it was awesome. So we did that. Raj is a great kid. He self-taught barber. He actually does a really good job, and it's been great to see him kind of like develop his whole brand and everything. With the Raj cuts. He just started doing merch.
I saw that. Yep. I'm gonna reserve one of those T-shirts.
Right, he's doing great, and he's going to Florida, I think it is. So yeah, so me and him are talking about how he's gonna keep doing that in Florida, and that's awesome. But so I did an interview with him while he cut my hair to kind of be something unique, and afterwards, even when the cameras were off, I was like, this was actually a really good cut. Like I didn't mind it. So yesterday,
so you would recommend it to everybody?
I would definitely recommend him, and I'll put his handle up here too. But I remember the other day I was like, I should probably get a haircut soon, just a trim. So I texted up Raj, and the good thing about Raj is
he's mobile too, right?
He's mobile,
completely
and he's
mobile.
Always available. So I'll try to read our exchange verbatim. He goes, so I texted him, and I go, "Hey Raj, when you got an opening?" He goes, "How soon do you want?" I said, "Today, if it's possible." He said, "Sure, I'll go charge everything and make sure it's all charged up." So if you need a haircut in a pinch,
it sounds like that's what you need. That's what you want out of a provider.
So so Raj cut my hair, and again, I'll put the pictures up right here. We have the before and after pictures.
Oh yeah. I follow Raj cuts.
And then
I saw him.
I got to do a little signature on this board. So Raj, what's great about Raj's whole thing is he adds like this big experience to his whole the whole process. Like if you get a
does he do a warm towel on the back?
So he does a little strip.
Okay.
So what he does is he has an authentic barber chair in his little home barber shop. It's so awesome. He's got the barber side. He's got this little shelf made out of plywood, and all of his customers have a signature on it.
How cool is that?
After they get one. So he has super official equipment and everything. So it was him. He has a little speaker. He plays some music while he just talks to you. We just clean up. We were just talking about what's going on, and it was awesome. He did a great job, and I was super happy with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then I got to sign the board after, so I put the logo on there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
it was official.
It was awesome.
It's so cool to see some of you guys, and obviously you and Joe Des before this, start brands and create brands and then build them up in small businesses. And I love, especially being a business teacher here, is understanding how you guys take steps towards doing that or creating them at a small scale, and then maybe they become bigger and you learn how to promote them and get customers, and it's just so cool. It's so cool to see.
Yeah, Coach Marty, especially for you, because you're more than educated in the field. Do you have any advice or walk me through your process of what you think where to start when you want to create your own brand?
Yeah. I think it's, first of all, you got to be genuine to you. That's a big part of it. I do a ton of, in my classes, business fundamentals, marketing, communications. Sign up now.
You should.
Yep. Full endorsement from the Certruth.
I've only heard good stuff from my brother and all his friends too. So.
And they're only getting better, I think.
Right.
So I think the number one thing is be genuine to you. So if your brand should be you and vice versa, right? As you're building that up. You have to figure out how to promote it in fun, creative, interesting ways. We actually do some stuff in my marketing communications class where we're going to be promoting different things for our final, which will be fun. So pop by if you got a chance there. B period and E period next week. So it should be cool. And I think you have to kind of adapt with the times too, right? So you and I were even talking about where is the evolution of these things, because sometimes they're not necessarily done, right? You have to evolve with the times. You have to figure out what is going to work where. And like Raj is doing, right? He's really kind of he's obviously not spending any money aside from getting merch and things like that to promote himself. It's all word of mouth, right? We talk in my class about word of mouth advertising being the best because it's absolutely free.
Yeah.
But it's also I hear about a cool haircut from you. I'm going to go to Raj and say, hey, can I have a haircut? And I'm going to tell my friends. So again, your customers are your biggest brand advocates.
No, yeah, I 100% agree, especially because you can really see the growth of a brand from when they're this little niche thing and how they kind of break out into other, I remember when I was starting the Certruth, it was okay, well, we have a name. Okay. So next, what I was going to do, I'll have Joe, I made a little trailer. I remember the first post, introducing it, and it was Joe is there. So I got somebody that has the people find us a credible source, and he shouted my thing out. So after I did that, it was like, okay, well, I got some people in, and then when I go to a game and like I interview
Get yourself out there.
yeah, then it brings in the whole group of the person I interviewed, the whole team of the sports, and now it's like there's a lot of different ways to like even at the end of the interview, I always go, and can we get a Certruth for the interview? And they go 1, 2, 3, and everyone goes Certruth.
Yeah.
So now even like when I walk in the hallways and like I hear people go Certruth, and when people say that, they're like, oh, that's funny, I'm gonna do that. It's like little stuff like that. It's like it's just slowly.
Yeah, it's part of it.
So it's great. But I mean,
what's cool too is like you see obviously like what we're doing now, video podcasts. Like you'll see different media conglomerates, and they're built up much differently now for the modern age, and particularly because the influencers and the people that are eventually going to be the money makers and the people making decisions are you and I were talking before, right? Like we are figuring out how to do video with this at its best. To make sure that we are using different angles and doing different things so it's visually appealing.
Yeah.
Because like you and I were talking about, it's less audio, it's more short clip video. Audio is still there, right? Like if you're driving and things like that.
Yep.
But video is the interesting stuff, right? They want to see your face. They want to see what you're doing. That's why all of these podcasts could have been and would have been traditional radio shows, but now they are video form, and they're so easy that everyone has one, including us.
Right. So again, like, I mean, Coach Marty is probably helping me learn about like one of the most important parts about bringing an audience, and that's like we were talking about like the whole visual aspect. And even today, it's the first time we have the 2 cameras, so that's really good because it starts here, and then soon we got talking points up on the board. Hopefully, we'll have call-ins,
Production
stuff like that.
value,
right?
Production value.
So just like the slower. Not the slower, but like slowly these things build up, and
it's like improving a little bit. I mean, like you do with anything, right? With schoolwork, with sports, with life, whatever. Just like how are you improving?
Yeah,
so doing my classes, all that stuff.
And as things get like more fluent, you kind of realize like how much easier it gets, because even before, and this is maybe even could be like a wrapping point, like before. We had videos that are like 39 minutes long, and we had the setup time. Even today when I came into the studio here, it's like we got set up, and right now we're at like 25 minutes, and we've covered our talking points. We've had like this like fluidity, and we can just talk about like what we need to talk about, and like we can hit the key points, and it's like we're always learning new skills.
Yeah, and it's like keep the audience, like now that hopefully the audience will be looking out for the next episode.
Yeah,
kind of see what's the flavor around FIAN. I think that's one of the big things to cover here is like what are the happenings around FIAN, what's going on, so especially in sports, obviously. So hopefully that's where they go to get their information, is this show.
Yeah, and I think with that, I mean, we're at like 26. If you want to wrap up, Coach Marty.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, all right.
What a great episode.
So I don't know if I have anything to shout out this time. Of course, there's still shirts available. There's prop out till the senior night's coming up. Look
Seniors
out for the
last
dates.
push too, right? So I'm telling my classes, enjoy it. You can see over your left shoulder.
Yeah.
We can maybe put it in there. That's my graduation photo from high school. So I point to that and I tell them that was 20 years ago. I still remember that day and that few weeks leading up to it. Enjoy it.
That is awesome. Yeah.
And I think with that concludes episode 5. Coach Marty, thank you.
You got it.
All right.